Argue.
No argument.
The Green Bay
no
Packers
argument
were
the way it ended, but like I just said it, like they were 7-8 last year against everyone besides the Bears, right?
Unique and compelling analysis and opinions when it comes to your favorite teams.
As much as they want, because both teams are good, and that game to be those two.
Kyle, you're not feeling this.
Jason knows I'm not feeling
Kyle
that.
and I have already had this argument.
Yeah.
You hate that I feel.
What else was on the WB back then? What else did I miss?
You probably saw the Wayans brothers, right?
Yeah.
The Jamie Foxx show. Don't come on now, Craig. Come on, Craig. You know the Jamie Foxx show?
No.
You know
This is Sunday Karma, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue. Here's GKB founder and CEO, Craig Karmazin.
Jamie Foxx is number one on Netflix?
Jamie Foxx is number one on Netflix right now, Craig.
How do you know that?
Because I was watching Netflix this week.
Are you sure it's just like not your algorithm?
No.
Because you love Jamie Foxx?
I may not want to snitch on myself, but it's not my Netflix. It is the Netflix of somebody else's that we have to contact them every time we log in and let them know to press OK so it can start streaming.
Wait, you're like that still?
Yeah.
On Netflix?
Yeah. I for some reason, my little cousins, are able to have access to my parents' Netflix, so we got to go a different route, different direction. We have the Hulu and the Max.
So you pay for Hulu and Max, you're saying?
We pay for Hulu and Max.
Well, you and your lady friend?
You know, my significant other.
Your significant other,
it comes
yeah.
out of her account. That was her account. I don't pay for any of those streaming services.
I mean,
except for Spectrum.
I mean, because you're doing. You're like a man of multiple like brands now. You're kind of doing your thing. You're the Truth. You're ESPN. I mean,
yeah.
You got real estate ventures.
Hey, real estate ventures. I don't know anything about that.
Oh, you don't? Oh, You've talked about that on the show. No.
No.
Oh, okay.
First it was COVID. You told the whole world I had COVID.
You got it again?
No, I haven't. Actually, I haven't had COVID in over a year. Look at me.
Oh, now you just admitted to having it. There you go.
I did 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, you did. Dirty. All right, so we got a lot going on. It's our last show of the year. Someone was making fun of me we get made fun of a lot about how infrequent this show is on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm ready to go most Sundays. I just look at the schedule and I'm not on, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm off this week.
So you're saying that's because of my travel and all that?
You're a busy man, Craig. You're a busy man.
So I think, I had a theory that this show, that what we should do is, if you think about historically within Good Karma.
Yes, sir.
I had done the Stephen Craig show, afternoons in Madison, and then I ended up, because of my other responsibilities within the company, leaving the afternoon show.
My other responsibilities. You make it seem so minimal.
Right. So, same thing happened with Greg Scalzo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Greg Scalzo was part of Scalzo and Brust. Ended up leaving the afternoon show because of other responsibilities within the company.
Yes, he did.
So there was a theory that was going around. I don't know if you were part of this.
I'm not part of any theories or any conversations that go on.
Okay.
I'm on my business.
Okay, so now, producer of your show
Yes.
is Alex Strofe, right?
It is, Strophe. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So there was a theory that why don't we make Sunday Karma you, Strofe,
Yeah.
Scalzo,
Yeah.
and me.
Ooh, that's too hot to take on a Sunday.
And, well, the idea is that, sometimes my travels don't allow me to be here. Sometimes your travels with your Frontier Airlines unlimited flight pass
I'm trying to re-up. They got a really good deal, $300.
don't allow you to be here, and then Scals and Strophe would be busy too. So the theory was, what if we had like you, me, and Scals in studio with Strophe producing when we were at full strength, but realistically, it would end up being like, 2 or 3 or 4 of us in any given week.
That sounds doable.
Oh, you're not that into it?
No.
Which part of it don't you like?
No, I'm into all of it. Actually, to be honest.
You not a Scals fan or you're not a Strophe fan?
No, actually.
Or you like having the weeks off?
No, I like producing the show.
Oh, so if Strofe was here, you'd want to be in there and have Strophe in here?
Yeah, when there's very few conversations I'm a part of, but this one, when somebody brought it to my attention, I was like, oh, yeah, I'd love to produce the show still.
Oh, so you did know about this. See, and
yeah.
I haven't heard about these conversations in weeks or months even.
It's been a while.
But I thought you'd be like, oh, I'm moving on up. I'm afternoon drive. I'm a host.
That. I didn't like that. I believe in my roots. Right?
Yeah.
And, y'all, just as long as y'all don't ask too much of me now on my Sunday. But, yeah, I love doing this. I love sitting in this chair.
So why don't you call Scals and Strophe now and see if we could make this happen? You got their numbers?
I do have their numbers. Oh, wow.
Are you saying this isn't professional to do this on the air?
No, I mean...
You're not waking people up at 10 o'clock on a football Sunday. I know the Packers play late and all, but they should be awake.
Yeah, let me make a couple calls real quick.
All right, let's see. Wait. Yeah, okay. I mean, call it on the on-air phone. You don't need to call on your phone.
No, I'm going to call on air phone. You want me to try to get the buzz on air? Let me see if I can do the buzz. I think I got to do a lot to get the...
What do you mean, to hear the dial tone?
Yeah, to hear the dial tone. I think I got to do too much for that one. I
Okay.
can't hear the dial tone, but I got you, Craig.
Okay.
You can hold it down for here for 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. Well, and part of why we're doing this is, as I said, we were mocked because there are no shows the next 2 weeks. And someone said to me, you guys should be doing a time capsule in between your shows because it takes so long from one Sunday Karma to the next that I'd love to hear what actually happens between them. Because if you actually predicted what was going to happen between Sunday Karma today and the next Sunday Karma, which in this case is January 4th, I think you couldn't even imagine all the things that would happen and would go right and would go wrong over that time. So that is one thing that I think we are going to do today. We are going to jump in that time capsule and talk about what's going to be the case the next time we're all together. We are also going to talk about the Brewers trade, which I kind of previewed last time when we were here a week ago, when we talked about how I think generally we're all going to feel really good about this trade, this Devin Williams trade. Kyle, I don't know that you did based on the text you had sent me, but I thought we'd feel pretty good about this Devin Williams trade and where things are going. This isn't like, oh, now we're not going to be able to contend or
Circle of life, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, you were like, does this mean the Brewers can't contend, or was that just you in like producer mode?
Producer mode.
Oh, okay, because I'm saying like this is like what we are here, right? This is, I mean, and Devin Williams was hurt through most of the year. It's not like Devin Williams is like essential, and if you can get great value for him and bring back a big starting arm and upgrade your team, I think that's, I don't want to say a non-story because that'd be disrespectful to the guy who's been the best closer over the last few years in the regular season, but I think we're all pretty much aligned there. And then we'll talk about this NBA Cup as the Milwaukee Bucks avenged their home defeat against the Atlanta Hawks from a week ago to defeat the Hawks last night in the Emirates NBA Cup semifinal to set up a finals matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who may, in fact, be the best team in the league. I know most people assume it's the Celtics, but right there with them are the Oklahoma City Thunder. But right now, in honor of the last Sunday Karma of 2024, we bring in the producer of KBN on ESPN Wisconsin, Alex Strofe, and the former host of Scalzo and Brust, Greg Scalzo. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi,
Craig. Good morning.
So, Strofe, I want to start with you. Have you heard any of these rumblings of you being a part of a new and revamped Sunday Karma for 2025?
A little bit of rumblings. Greg Scalzo's very excited, so little rumblings, but nothing finalized. So I imagine that's what this might be.
Well, okay. So, Greg, I heard you're saying that Greg's excited. Is that sarcasm, Scals? Because I was with you last night. You didn't say a word to me about it. Like, are you legitimately excited about this, or is that sarcasm from Strophe?
I can never tell with Strofe. I think it's an attempt at sarcasm, but yeah, it's something we discussed. Strofe tried to talk to me about pulling a coup off on the Sunday Karma crew on Sunday mornings, and I said, wait a second. why don't we try to collaborate here with Kyle and Craig? And I know we've had the discussions, but they really haven't progressed.
Right. And so all of us have been busy. These have been going on for months now, and they haven't progressed. So I figured let's bring people inside how deals get done or don't get done. So first of all, Scals, it would be understandable. I mean, you have 2 young kids. You work all the time. If you just don't want to work and be on the air on Sunday mornings, you should just say it, and we could. What?
If you just don't want to work, you know.
No, I'm saying on Sunday mornings. I mean, I'm saying that's very fair. He has a lot of family out of state, both he and his wife. Like if it's just another commitment, like you don't have to even engage in this if it's not of interest.
Well, if the commitment was every Sunday morning, then I think it would be a different conversation. But what sort of level of commitment are we talking about? Because as an avid Sunday Karma fan, I don't know if the expectation is every Sunday morning.
So, Kyle, as the current producer who wants to stay as the producer, and I think part of why people love the show is how bad you are as a producer. So, if we actually ever got a good producer, I think it could mess with the show.
Oh, wow.
We've established Kyle, great host, bad producer. So, Kyle, what would your expectations be of Greg as a host, as the producer of the show?
I mean, I think we laid the groundwork and the framework years ago for the fact that make it when you can, right? The expectation is if you have nothing going on Sunday, you should be here, right? Like, usually when Craig and I miss the show, it's because one of us are out of town.
Yep.
And the other one is not. Like, if I miss a show, it's either Craig's gone or it's the fact that I'm actually out of town. I've never been in town.
Right.
If Craig's been here
Me
and I
too.
haven't been here.
And I've never, same thing, right? So it's not just like, just not feeling it this Sunday. That's not an excused absence. But if it's like, oh, my kid has this, oh, my family has this, my mom has this, I'm traveling for this, any actual commitment is an excused absence. But if we find out that it's just like, nah, I'm just not feeling it, then I think that's disrespectful to the Sunday Karma community that, and Mark Chimura as one of the forefathers and everything that Sunday morning radio on ESPN Wisconsin stands for. So how does that sound, Greg?
I think that's fair. I mean, I think those are fair expectations there. And I like the fact that in addition to having a bad producer, good host of Kyle Wallace, the next potential person in that mold you're really looking at is Alex Strofe.
Well, no, Alex Strofe would be the backup to Kyle in the producer room because Kyle is saying that if he and Strofe are both here, he would want Strofe to be a host in the host room, and he would still want to be in the producer room. Alex, how do you feel about that?
Okay, I this is the first I'm hearing of this. Why not just put 2 bad producers in the producer room together? Doesn't 2 bad producers equal at least 1 competent producer? Right? In your mind, isn't that the math that would happen there?
Wow.
Do 2 chairs fit in there?
Yeah, no, there is. There are 2 chairs. Wow. I've never thought about having any assistance or help back here, man. That is mind-blowing,
What's
man.
this, some Delaware wing T formation we'd be going with here?
Exactly, right.
I take it. We get another camera set up back here. I like that. I love me some El Strofe, so I'll be cool with Strofe rocking it back here with me.
So, Strofe, is that like you don't want to be in the on-air host room? Is that, or you just feel more comfortable? You don't want to be, talk us through your philosophy on that decision.
It's not even necessarily a philosophy. It's just, we could spread it out. We've got all the room in the world, Craig. Kyle needs help. You need help. Greg needs help. I need help. So I don't know. I was just thinking 2 bad producers might equal 1 full good one.
Wow, that would be interesting. Now, Strophe, you were the one who tried to pull this coup, so I didn't go to you on this, but are you thinking you are available for Sunday? Like, I don't know what's going on in your life these days. Who knows, right? Like, so do you think you could make the quasi-commitment that we're all making to this show?
First off, no coup intended. The original idea was sometimes you're busy, Craig, so I just wanted Greg Scalzo to have the opportunity to spread his wings a little bit, get back on the air. I know, like you, since he's not on the air every day anymore, he's got the it. So I pitched the idea of Scalzo and Strofe being the backup to Karmazin and Kyle.
Wow, so Kyle, he was trying to bump you like just when I'm out. He was trying to take your time away from you there.
You know what? That sounds about Strofe right. Strofe is always looking for his way to finagle his way into something.
Hold on a minute, Kyle. would you admit that some Sundays it would be nice if you had the day off? Would you admit that?
Yeah, when Craig is out of town, I'm out, poo-poo and crying. When we switched over to that philosophy, I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I guess that gives me a break. I wasn't begging to have to come in when Craig was gone. I didn't mind it, though.
So, Kyle, to my point, the origin of the idea was, okay, if Craig's out of town, Kyle can have the Sunday off to hang with his baby girl, and me and Scalzo come in and entertain the masses. But the idea has evolved. So anyway, Craig, to answer your question, I am more than willing to be free. I would say like 90% of Sundays, yeah.
Okay, so now is everyone willing to commit to this, or are there other decision makers in families and stuff that need to be consulted? Because it sounds, Strophy, that you're here to like sign on the dotted line, and you recognize the absolute zero additional compensation that comes with Sunday Karma, which is...
Oh, you know your talent.
Yeah.
He's thinking dollar sign.
Yeah. Now I think it increases your marketability from talent fees and endorsement opportunities. You have the award-winning podcast along with the afternoon drive show. I think it helps the marketability, but I mean, Greg, there's no compensation that comes with this role, correct? I mean, I haven't seen any.
Zero compensation that comes with the role, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
it makes Mr. Irrelevant slightly more relevant.
Yeah, Strophy, is this are you willing to commit right now, or do you need to discuss with anyone else in your organization?
You really sold me on the marketability, Craig. What a great pitch by you. Yeah, look, I'm not married. I don't have kids, so it's not me I'm worried about in terms of the commitment. It's more the guy on the other phone line.
All right, so Strophy is in. Now we go over to Greg Scalzo. So the Sunday Karma team has grown by one. Kyle, pretty exciting, right? Now we got Alex Strophy, along with you and me as we look at 2025 Sunday Karma. Which
welcome to the team, El Strophe.
This makes the show a lot more likely to happen. Now, quick question, Strophy. If the show ends up, like if there's a week where I'm out and it's just you and Kyle, would you both be sitting in the producer's room and no one in the host room? What happens in that scenario in your view?
Yeah, Craig, the answer is yes. So when you look down at the board with all the buttons and sliders, I will be responsible for 50% of it, and Kyle will be responsible for the other 50% of it. Yes.
Okay. All right, good. Wanted to make sure of that. Now let's go over to Greg Scalzo. Greg, are you ready to make a decision for 2025 and beyond? We know that this Sunday morning show, I just agreed to fill in for Craig Kashan like once in 2005, and now somehow I'm here 19 years later. So you never know what you're getting into when it comes to this time slot.
Yeah, I feel comfortable with the current structure that we've discussed. The when available, you are there. I'm good with that. I'm willing to commit.
Greg, real quick, does your wife have any idea that you're having this conversation at 10:18 on a Sunday morning?
No.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. She's going to have an expensive Christmas gift under the tree.
She probably doesn't think Greg works that much anyway, and she probably feels like he's so available as a partner and as a father that I'm sure she wouldn't mind him, having an extra hobby on the side on Sunday mornings.
Yeah, exactly. She'll be excited for me to get out of the house on Sunday morning.
You fellas sound very sleepy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sound sleepy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you both sound very tired.
Kyle, are you questioning their ability to bring the energy on a Sunday morning?
It's 10:18. Y'all fellas, once y'all got popped up, y'all need to come with some energy. Y'all both sound groggy. Strophe, I can tell in your voice you had a long night.
I really didn't have a long night, but yeah, I'm losing my voice a little bit. So I wanted to save it for 4:00 when we start Green Bay game day. But hey, 10:03. Good morning from Kyle Wallace. I'm happy to be here regardless. Sorry, Kyle. Sorry, I'm not living up to your expectations on my Sunday Karma debut as a new member of the team. I'll work on that going forward.
You got 3 weeks, buddy. And Greg, what's your excuse? I know, Craig, you said y'all was kicking it.
Yeah, I saw him last night.
What's your excuse? Craig is up and ready to go.
I wouldn't say there's an excuse. I would say that I answered the phone. I didn't know who was calling me at the time.
He said, hey, Greg Scalzo.
This is one of those mornings that, I wouldn't have been able to host because I'm going to be jumping in a car to go pick up my kids in Illinois from their grandparents' house.
All right, that counts, right? Kyle, right? That would be an excused absence.
That is an excused absence.
Yep.
Just being a good dad is definitely an excused absence.
All right, well, this is exciting. breaking news. Let the social media, let the media know. The Sunday Karma team has doubled in size with a projection of at least 34% more shows next year, the early analytics say. Alex Strofe has committed to become a second producer of the show, and Greg Scalzo has committed to become a second host of the show. I am still in negotiations with Kyle to remove him as a host of the show and for him to become a host of the show.
I'll hold out in the studio before that happens.
We will see.
In out, is that an in when you show up to work?
A hold in?
Hold in while I perform still.
All right, there you have it. All right, guys, thanks. Looking forward to 2025. Sunday Karma growing in the new year. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Sunday Karma team energy. Woo!
There's that energy. That's going to be coming to you at 4 o'clock on Green Bay Game Day with Strophe and the crew. Thanks, guys. There you have it. Wow, Kyle. Who knew when we woke up this morning that changes would be afoot?
You know, so that's how things work here on Sunday Karma. You never know what you're going to get.
Wow. I thought we were going to look in our time capsule and see what's going to happen in 3 weeks. By the way, did you watch? Tell me you watched the Bucks game, please.
I did watch the Bucks game.
There you go.
I did watch the Bucks game. The NBA Cup, I got home from doing some things, and I went straight to watch the NBA Cup. So I saw the second half of the game.
All right, well, let's talk about that when we continue. It is Sunday Karma. Major announcement. You just heard it. ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Take the stress out of the holiday season with the Milwaukee Bucks. Get all your shopping done with Bucks deal season offers, featuring great gifts and limited time packages that even Scrooge will love. Score deals for everyone on your list, including yourself, from the Milwaukee Bucks and Pfizer Forum. 'Tis the season for cheer with your favorite deer. After all, there's no place like Pfizer Forum for the holidays. Shop the offers today at bucks.com/deal season.
Monica, what delightful surprise do you have for us this Christmas?
I've been waiting all day for your big reveal.
Take a look and tell me what you see.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
I see the North Star, that guiding light that always lets you know where you are.
The North Star is important to you?
Sitting directly above the axis of the Earth, it's the only star in the sky that never moves. It's always there for you.
Sarah?
I see the star that stood high over Bethlehem 2,000 years ago.
Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might.
Monica, it's fabulous.
Nicole Lasker designed it.
I love her.
What's it called?
The Star of Hope. We have them in sterling silver with 4 diamonds for just $198. And in white gold with bigger and bigger diamonds at prices up to $19.98.
I love it.
I love it even more than Rick does.
The Star of Hope.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Year-end savings are here at Land Rover Waukesha. Unwrap a truly unique luxury SUV this holiday season. The new Range Rover Velar provides power, performance, sporting luxury, and all the latest technology. Get 3.9% special APR financing for up to 72 months only on a new 2025 Range Rover Velar at Land Rover Waukesha. 3.9% APR for 72 months. A deal so nice, even Santa will want in. Get your mittens on the most luxurious ride this holiday season. LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Michelle, can you believe I've had 20 beers?
What?
I said, can you believe Professional Construction Inc. has been around for 20 years?
Sure, that's what you said. It feels just like yesterday we started the business.
In all seriousness, we want to say thank you to our valued customers, family, and friends.
And all those who have helped us get to this huge milestone. So from our family to yours, thank you.
Professional Construction Inc., your go-to contractor for 20 years.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and I have the perfect gift idea for you. A custom holiday gift box filled with all your Kringle favorites from Racine Danish Kringles. There's no wrapping needed, and this season you can try their newest holiday pastry, Eggnog Kringle, created to bring festive cheer to your celebration. Filled with rich, creamy eggnog and topped with sweet icing and a sprinkle of cinnamon, it's perfect for sharing with loved ones. Go to Kringle.com to order or call 800-4-DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, it's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
College hockey returns to Fiserv Forum with the 4th annual Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off, December 28th and 29th.
The Wisconsin Badgers return to defend their title, facing the Ferris State Bulldogs in semifinal action on day 1. The Yukon Huskies and Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks will battle for the other spot in the championship game.
Don't miss the college hockey action coming to Milwaukee and see who wins the championship on day 2. Secure your seats today at Ticketmaster.com.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and Cola, refreshing Bacardi Lime and Soda, or a smooth spiced and Cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Apply major pressure. You hear me? Money on my mind, can't take it off that. We got 5 different iPhones, I'ma pick it up for that grill. Anytime they come around here, we ain't gonna let up on you. We just get ready.
All right.
We just get ready.
We're just talking about the Vegas Raiders. Let's go to Vegas and talk about the Bucks as they get it done. 2-8, and then 12-3. I was looking at the Thunder record, and basically the Thunder record at 20-5 is like what the Bucks record would be if they'd been playing this 12-3 ball all year. So Bucks beat the Hawks. They make it to the NBA Cup Finals. I think this is really good, the NBA Cup. I know some people have had trouble getting into it and understanding the why, but I think it makes basketball before Christmas interesting, and the single elimination brings an interesting dynamic to it and brings a little extra intensity early in the year, allows the best players to play a little bit more, which I think is one of the knocks on the NBA. And seeing Giannis respond the way he did last night was fantastic.
And also after the game, saying, hey, we got one more. We got one more, right? And I think for this Milwaukee Bucks team, in comparison to L.A., this Bucks team actually has a shot to get them, their act together as they have and be in it in the finals, to have a shot to go to the NBA Finals. Make it.
You're talking about the real playoffs now.
So I think this intensity actually will help the Milwaukee Bucks for having to play.
So you think this team can be competitive with the Celtics, with the Knicks? I don't even know who the other team is that you would say is better than them right now.
We got to see Chris Middleton continue to get better, right, and get his legs underneath him.
Yeah, Chris Middleton hasn't played well, but when he's on the court, they're just so much better. Have you noticed that? Like his presence,
struggled.
Even like yesterday, he had those terrible turnovers.
Yeah,
he had a few really bad turnovers, but for some reason, I bet you if you look, I did not look at his plus minus last night, but he played bad, right? It seemed. But I bet you if I look at his plus minus, let's see, and I could be wrong here. Yeah, he was -5. So in his 22 minutes on the court, where he was 2 of 7 with 3 turnovers and 5 fouls, they were still only -5 with him playing that way. That's what I'm saying. When he starts getting into a rhythm, that pass he had to Giannis to put them up 3, I think was the most important play of the game. Giannis's turnaround jumper was the sweetest play. Giannis leads the NBA in mid-range scoring this year.
No, I do not.
Mid-range scoring,
that
Giannis.
Was smooth. Even the Hawks bench was like, oof.
Yeah, I mean,
unstoppable if he does
so that. Exciting stuff going on for the Bucks. They'll take on the Thunder. You can hear that game on WTMJ and ESPN Madison this Tuesday night. Really excited for the Bucks to take on the Thunder, a true measuring stick, right? We know the Thunder are legit as legit could be. They're right there with the Celtics as the top 2 teams in the NBA. No offense to the Cavs right now, but the top 2 teams in the NBA. So we'll be very excited to see a true measuring stick game because the Thunder want this game bad. You saw how they were with the Rockets. So I think it'll tell us exactly where the Milwaukee Bucks are, which after winning 12 of 15, I think getting a true measuring stick of where you are, the timing couldn't be better. Timing also couldn't be better to talk to Jason Wilde as the Packers go to Seattle and take on the Seahawks in one of the afternoon and evening battles of over 500 teams. You won't get any at noon, but an amazing afternoon and evening of football coming your way today. We'll talk to Jason Wilde about it as we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Kyle Walls here from ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Bruston Norman, and you know I'm watching every snap this football season with the Underdog Fantasy Sports app in hand. With over 5 million people playing and $2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in. Make a play with just $1 or go big. Play their pick'em game, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Underdog has all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. You make picks for a pick'em entry and choose if players will go higher or lower when it comes to their stats. Maybe it's Jordan Love higher than 250 passing yards, or even Travis Kelce under 1.5 touchdowns. You can even win when you lose with Underdog's Double Flex option. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com, sign up using promo code KBN, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code KBN, and join me and millions of others and win big. Must be 18 plus and present in state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit ncpgambling.org.
One call, that's all. There's consistency of one thing in Wisconsin and the Milwaukee area. It is Gruber Law Offices. For over 35 years and for tens of thousands of clients, Gruber Law Offices is there for you. That's right, for you, for your loved one, for you. If anyone's ever injured, do what I do. Tell them Gruber Law Offices, because that means you're getting a nationally recognized company, but family-owned, where you don't pay unless you win. Committed to this community and so versed in going through all the experiences. One call, that's all. That doesn't mean any shortcuts are taken. One call, that's all means your anxiety, your stress in that moment is gone. You know you could trust them. You know they've done it time and time again. That's why I always tell you, Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. Better is right around the corner in 2025. Feeling better, that is. Getting rid of that joint pain once and for all. QC Kinetics is your solution to finally getting that joint pain relief that you are looking for. When I went to QC Kinetics, I found them to be incredibly accommodating, knowledgeable, and personal, to be able to take what I was dealing with and put me on my own individualized plan to pain relief. So no matter what you're dealing with, shoulders, knees, hips, or back, it was back for me. The medical professionals at QC Kinetics are going to use all the tools in their tool belt to help give you that pain relief you've been looking for. So many things that allow you to feel your best for a brand new year. If you've been told surgery is your only or best option, you deserve a second opinion. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation to live your best life in 2025. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Yeah. It's a lot of tickets to the club tonight. What? But it's gonna be alright. Yeah. Cause me and my clique, we don't give a fuck. Trick Daddy, you got it. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. If you want some, come get some.
Wow. I feel like this should be a staple. This is some of that new Sunday Karma energy. Jason Wilde joins the show. Jason, what do you think of the breaking news coming out of Sunday Karma this morning?
What is it?
I knew that was going to be the case, Jason. I was just messing with you. The news is that Sunday Karma will be doubling in size next year, adding Alex Strofe and Greg Scalzo to the team to ensure that if one or two hosts are unavailable when the Packers don't play at noon, the show will go on.
So it's double in personnel size, not in time elapsed size?
Correct. Now, this show used to be an 8 to 10 show. It will be staying 10 to noon, but there will be 4 hosts of the show, and the hope is that at least 2 of us can actually show up every Sunday.
Yeah, it's always a guessing game on whether it's on or not. So I'm really glad to hear this news. I enjoy this program, and it is a tradition unlike any other, dating back to the good old days of the football show and how Mark Chmura and you used to have the witty banter back and forth. I hope I fill that void at least a little bit once in a while.
We have to also, of course you do, Jason, a very critical part of this team. We also have to recognize the first Craig who hosted this show was Craig Kashan before I replaced him about 2 decades ago. The original football show host was Craig Kashan and Mark Chmura.
I'm not sure I knew that tidbit, actually.
Yes. So I've been saying that Tuesday night is set to be just the best possible measuring stick for the Milwaukee Bucks as they would face the Thunder, will face the Thunder in Vegas. How much do you look at tonight for the Packers as a measuring stick? Because what I've said is it's so hard for me to know still this deep into the season if the Seahawks are good or not. So I'm not sure how much of a measuring stick I look at this game as for the Packers.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think the Packers are good. I don't know how good, and that's rarely the feeling that I have this late in a season, right? I mean, I don't know how many times over my career we've gotten into the final 4 games, and I've been like, okay, they're good, but are they really good? Are they just okay good? And
I'm with you, but I'm not. I guess my point is it's almost like that Arizona Cardinals game where I came out of it saying, like, I'm not sure that I know that much more about the Packers because I don't know that much about the Cardinals. And that's kind of how I feel about the Seahawks, which is maybe an unfair feeling that I have.
No, I felt the same way. And I thought the Cardinals stunk. And then they reeled off 4 straight wins. And now I think they've lost every game they've played since that 4-game winning streak. And the Seahawks are the opposite. They lost 4 in a row. Now they've won 4 in a row. So, look, I look at it this way. This game and the Minnesota game at US Bank Stadium are the 2 games that I think are the ones where we'll get at least more information. I view it as kind of a fact-finding mission, and I think we'll know a few more facts about them, but I still don't think we will know for certain just how good they are, because on the other side of it, and I give Tausch a hard time because I don't think he's given the Vikings enough credit for what they've accomplished this season. He downplays them fairly significantly, not as much as he was downplaying Philly until he turned around on that. But the fact of the matter is that there's basically 2 teams that I think are first-tier NFC teams, right? The Lions and the Eagles. And then, I think there's a tier 2A that is the Vikings. And then I think there's a tier that's 2B, and the Packers are in that tier. And I'm still trying to figure out, is Washington in that tier? Is Seattle in that tier? Who else is kind of that next level? And I don't know that. And that's why I think tonight's game is going to be, again, I agree with you. I'm not sure how good Seattle is either, but this is what we've got as a measuring stick. It's not, it's not the highest end tape measure. It's more like a old ruler that you used in grade school, but at least it's something to do some measuring off of.
Breaking news, not just the Sunday Karma breaking news, but David Njoku is out today for the Browns. And I say that just because I know how important everyone's fantasy football league playoffs are. And officially, Njoku is out for the Browns. So if you need a backup tight end, go get one pretty quick. As we chat with Jason Wilde. So, Jason, as we talk about this measuring stick and all that, you and I both kind of felt really good about Jordan Love coming off his only 20 attempt effort last Thursday night. I think this is kind of when he hit his stride last year, right? And we didn't know that the Packers were good until they went and destroyed the Cowboys in the postseason. So, to me, I feel like this is setting up really well for the Packers. Everything except the fact that we know they won't end up, as a top 2 seed.
Well, and to me, that's the bigger challenge. And another reason why I think tonight's game and the Minnesota game are important is because they're basically road playoff game atmospheres, right? And for a team that, and I have to give credit to Adam Stenavich because he was the one who pointed this out, the Packers offensive coordinator, most of their road games this year haven't been road games. Really, Detroit was the first true road game.
You're saying Nashville was like a bunch of Packers fans there to party?
Right, and that was the case with the Los Angeles Rams game. That was the case with the Jacksonville game. So I just feel like this will be a truer test for them, and so will Minnesota. Obviously, there'll be plenty of Packers fans at Minnesota too, but good teams or good-ish teams, loud crowds, because that's what they're going to face. They're going to be the 6th or the 7th seed most likely, and they're not going to get a home game unless, I suppose, the 7th seed makes the NFC Championship game along with them. The thing I keep saying is the most important thing they have to do is avoid falling to the 7th seed, because then you're looking at playing a combination of either Detroit followed by Philly or vice versa. And that is something that I don't think gives them
Okay, so wait,
much of a chance
take us
to
through that. So you're saying if they're the 7 seed, then they're playing
7 seed
basically
plays
the best team that doesn't have a bye?
Correct. So they'll play the number 2 seed, which let's just say for argument's sake that, just for clarity, the Lions hold on to the number 1 seed. The Eagles are the 2 seed. Okay? Remember, the NFL playoffs are not a bracket. The top remaining seed gets to play the the bottom remaining seed in each round. So in that second round, the number 1 seed, Detroit in our theory here, would get whoever's the lowest seed left. And the Packers, if they get in as the 7th seed, they're locked into being the lowest seed left. So that is...
Wait. But the 7 seed... Oh, you're saying that if they lose...
Let's say they beat the Eagles.
But how could they really fall there? Oh, you're saying if the Commanders pass them?
Right. The Commanders are 8-5. The Packers are 9-5.
Yeah, possible.
It's not like they won't have... It's not out of the realm of possibility at all.
So that's really, as we look at these last games, when you're looking at why Packers-Bears might matter the final week of the year and why it may not be like, hey, they're in, so why not get an extra week of rest? It's going to be all about staying ahead of there so you don't have to go first playoff game at Philly or at Detroit.
Correct. And then if you somehow win that, you get the honor of playing the next top seed on the road again, which, look, if the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through Detroit and Philly, great. But ideally, you're a 6 and you go to play the NFC West champ, or you're the 5 and you get to play the NFC South champ. And then you're in a position
By the way,
where
the Packers are favored. The Packers would be favored in either of those games. You'd expect. I mean, they're favored at Seattle tonight by 2.5. So you would expect they would be favored in those games.
Yes, they'll have a better record than either of those division champions, I would think, unless there is the possibility that the Rams control their own destiny if they can win out, and they're sitting at, what are they right now?
8-6.
8-6.
Yep.
So they finish 11-6. Packers finish 11-6. The Packers wouldn't have a better record, but again, it doesn't matter because they will have won their division. But yeah, I would think they'd be the favorite on either of those road games, except maybe LA. Because remember, when they beat LA, they did it when the Rams were without both Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp in that game.
Yeah. So let's talk health. Jair Alexander out. Is this going to be a topic for the rest of this season?
Yes, of course it is. Unfortunately, and what's hard for me to understand is it appeared that he was making progress. I talked to him on Thursday. He was encouraging. He had practiced in full both on Wednesday and Thursday, and then he didn't practice at all on Friday. And Matt LaFleur made an interesting comment about how you have to hit a certain speed in order to be considered cleared. So I don't know what his velocity is when he runs, but apparently it wasn't fast enough. So, and the one thing Matt LaFleur made it very, very clear he did not want to endure was a rerun of Chicago, where he goes in, he plays 10 snaps, he's not able to finish, and then they're playing a man down the rest of the day.
So, Jason, this has some fantasy football implications. Not for me, but a lot of people have been asking me. I got a text this morning from our guy Negatim about this. What's the story with Jaden Reed? Like, we know there's a lot of weapons here, but, like, games with one target and no catches, like, could you see a replay of that today? And I thought Jaden Reed was the guy early in the year we decided was the one you could count on from this group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think you'll see a rerun today. I think both Matt LaFleur and Adam Stenavich were clear about the fact they can't allow him to be that limited in his involvement. Now, that said, as Matt LaFleur, I thought Matt LaFleur did a pretty good job of explaining what happened philosophically in the Detroit game that led to that. Now, remember, he really had two targets. One gets wiped out because he draws a pass interference penalty. I think it was on the first third down of the game. But he gets one other target, he drops it, and then he never gets the ball again. But he only played 25 snaps, and that was because the Lions played their base defense even when the Packers were going three wide. And Matt LaFleur realized after the first three series that he needed to run the football, and he had forgotten about Josh Jacobs. And so they decided to run the ball more, go two tight ends more frequently, and by doing that, it left Jaden Reed as kind of the odd man out. The thing that you should look for tonight is he lining up as a true, if they do go two tight ends, is he lining up as a true wideout as opposed to being in the slot, as opposed to lining up in the backfield? Is he lining up wide right or wide left? Because that's something that Adam Stenavich said he should do more of. He's capable of doing, and that's something that we saw with another wide receiver similar to his size in Randall Cobb. He was capable of doing that, and the Packers had to kind of remind themselves from time to time that they needed to line him up and use him that way.
Jason, we'll come back to the game, but real quickie, ESPN 30 for 30 released the New York Sack Exchange documentary, which brought back Brett Favre into the spotlight with the questions around him taking the sack with Michael Strahan. Any take on that and Mark Gastineau's anger at Brett Favre there?
Yeah, Mark Gastineau is not exactly the most sympathetic figure, right?
Yeah.
That said, Sidney Wilde into the ball game, starting early. The issue that I have is with Brett Favre. I don't know how big of a fan you are of the movie Draft Day.
Big fan, huge
we
fan.
have some teammates in that. I love that movie personally.
Most realistic football movie I've ever seen.
Here's my issue with that. In that movie, they're talking about Bo Callahan and how he lies about the $100 bill in the back of the playbook. And then he stands up for the lie, right? That's the big thing. And what I don't like about Favre is that he had a chance after this came out 20-some years later to tell the truth, and instead he doubled down on the lie, right? And to me, that's
and you're saying the lie that he didn't give Strahan the sack?
Yeah, the call was 93 blast, Craig. Watch the video. Everyone's run blocking. Mark Tauscher on our show said, and I quote, that's the only time in his career where a PR person had to tell him, you need to calm down before media availability. That's how angry he and the rest of the offensive linemen were. And here's the thing.
Wait, when you say they were angry, why would they be angry?
Because they went into that game saying, we're not going to allow Michael Strahan to break the record against us. And Brett Favre, and they didn't. Brett Favre gave him the record. And
okay, so you're saying that Favre wasn't angry, the rest of the team was angry?
No, the rest of the team was angry at Favre.
Okay, at Favre. Okay. Yep.
And what's bothersome about that is that, we always talk about in our culture at GKB and with the teams we care about, you want to be a good teammate. And he was a terrible teammate. He was great. He was a great teammate to Michael Strahan, but not recognizing how disappointing that was to his own guys and to do that. And then to not take the opportunity to apologize now, 20-some years later, really bad look, really weak performance by him. He could have undone the lie, and he chose not to.
And you're saying ultimately that this could still be something that those offensive linemen today would be proud of. That, hey, last game of the year, we held Michael Strahan, who is on the verge of the sack record. We worked so hard, and we held him without a sack for the entire game. That's something that that you're saying was an accomplishment he took from his teammates.
Correct. That's exactly what I'm saying. And again, I was in that locker room after the game. They were as angry. The only other time I've seen offensive linemen more angry in a locker room after a game was after 4th and 26, after Mike Sherman had promised them at halftime, if we get another 4th and 1, we're going for it, and blankety blank, we're getting it. And instead, they punted, and as you recall how that game ended. So, to me, those are the two times I've seen Tausch so irate that he could barely speak. And that tells you everything you need to know about how angry they were about how that played out in the Meadowlands that 20-some years ago.
And then Jason gave us that good a nugget after Sidney Wilde had checked into the game. Shows you everything you need to know about Jason Wilde. You can listen to him on Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon. Follow him at Jason J. Wilde. Jason, enjoy the rest of the game and enjoy the Packers tonight, and look forward to hearing your thoughts on it after the game and tomorrow.
All right, guys. I appreciate you accommodating me today.
Yeah,
Take
thanks.
care. Be good.
There he is, Jason Wilde's final 2024 appearance on Sunday Karma.
Look at that. Look at him multitasking. Dad of the year.
What do you think about the Favre thing?
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Now, have you watched the New York Sack Exchange thing yet?
I did not, but I saw the interaction and I saw the guy's reaction, and I did not know Brett Favre to this day still denies that he laid down. I mean, we all know he laid down. And to me, it is what it is. But knowing the offensive line actually went into the game taking pride in the fact that we're not going to let Michael Strahan get that sack. I remember what happened. I was happy for Michael Strahan because I wanted to see him get the record. But now,
yeah, I mean, at the time, I'm like you. It felt kind of harmless, and it was like, oh, that was kind of classy by Brett Favre is how it felt at the time.
But then you think about the other end, the person that would have said, hey, that was my record, and I don't know if they would have been tied or what it would have been. And then you think about the offensive line, the competitiveness. If I go into a game saying, forget this guy, he ain't getting the record today.
Think about a pitcher. Think about the pitcher being like, hey, I don't want to give up that record-breaking home run, right? And a pitching staff, right?
Yep.
So the pitching staff goes into a 3-game series and says, hey, we're not giving up Aaron Judge's 70th home run or whatever. And then, all of a sudden in the last game of the series in the 9th inning, someone grooves him a fastball to be able to do it after the whole team was like, hey, we're not letting him do this against us.
That changes my perspective on that. It really does, because I had no idea that the offensive line was actually upset and angry that the record ended up happening, even though they did everything that entire game to stop one of the greatest sack artists in NFL history from getting the record. So.
Yeah, a little more Packers Seahawks to talk about with you as we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Do you know or work with kids who have special healthcare needs? Help them live their best lives. Contact Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network. Our specialists will connect you with services in your area. Wisconsin Wayfinder is free and confidential. Call 877-947-2929 or visit dhs.wi.gov/WISCWAY. Connect today. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Blue sweater, red sweater, reindeer sweater, extra double thick sweater.
What are you doing?
Getting my closet ready for winter. It'll be here before you know it.
Good point. We should all be getting our vehicles ready for winter too. And now's the time to visit any of the 115 Adam member new car dealers to get your oil changed, have your brakes and wipers checked, and make sure your tires will get you through a long Wisconsin winter. Just visit ADAMM.com to find the nearest Adam member dealer.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Bengo made his list and checked it twice. Turns out Bucs fans are really nice. Slay the holidays with a limited time ticket offer that will land you at the top of Bengo's nice list. Score gifts for the Bucs fans in your life and treat yourself too. Holiday packages feature ticket codes to redeem now or use later, exclusive Bucs holiday items, and an e-gift card that can be used to eat, drink, and be merry at Fiserv Forum. Explore options at bucks.com/deal season.
Hi, Monica.
This is our WOW engagement ring for Christmas.
Wow.
Wow.
It features a 1-carat created diamond center stone.
Completely surrounded by a halo of little created diamonds that makes it look huge.
And each of those 3 bands is covered in diamonds.
I've never seen anything like it.
2 carats total weight.
There's no way this is less than $5,000.
No, we're selling these for half that much.
$24.98? I need to lie down and put a cool rag on my forehead.
And you can choose a 1-carat round, oval, or radiant diamond as your center stone.
Kessler's is the coolest store in the world.
But there's more. Look at this.
It's a matching pendant. Take that rag off your head and get up, Rick. You have to see this.
How big is that?
It's a 1.5-carat created diamond, surrounded by the same halo of little created diamonds. 2 1/3 carats total weight.
This tag says it's just $1,998.
See it for yourself at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from ESPN Milwaukee's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You know how much I love and trust X Golf with my golf game. Whether we're talking about Brookfield or Mequon, the state-of-the-art simulators, the custom golf clubs they can build, the lessons you can get from their PGA pros. Secretly, one of my favorite things is after my round. In fact, most Fridays, you can find me in Brookfield at the bar enjoying a nice cold drink, maybe having some of the food that they have from their incredible menu. This can happen for you too. Go to xgolfbrookfield.com or xgolfmequon.com to book your tee time today.
Stay safe this winter with help from Menards. Protect your windshield and keep your view clear with Splash Ultimate Windshield Wash Fluid. It's effective down to negative 35 degrees, and it clears ice and salt for a clean, streak-free shine. Pick up a gallon for only $2.39. Get everything you need for your vehicle at Menards and view our weekly flyer on menards.com to view all our great deals happening now. Prices good through December 24th.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
There's no better place to shop for the sports fan in your life than Brewtown Trading Co. Milwaukee. Not only do they have the largest selection of sports cards in the Midwest, they have the best prices too. Framed jerseys ready for the man cave? Check. Sealed hobby and blaster boxes of the hottest releases? Check. One-of-a-kind items you won't find anywhere else? Triple check. Open 7 days a week at 4285 South 76th Street and 24 hours a day at BrewtownTrading.com. Make this holiday extra special for the sports fan in your life today at Brewtown Trading Co.
You wanna run your mouth? You want some games to stretch your mother out? We are set this out, set this out. We are set this dog, set this. Let's get these out, mind right. They call me bad, and I punish you. You ain't my equal, we ain't people, I ain't one of you. Since 98, I grab my plate up off the
Great little feature going on right now on ESPN on TJ Watt and his journey from Wisconsin to the leading forcer of fumbling in the NFL, Peanut Tillman. They talk about, the forced fumbles, and TJ Watt's got, since he's gotten into the league, a third more than anyone else in the NFL. So
what a story.
Pretty cool. I mean, that's one of those where it's you always remember those when it's the Badger, how did the Packers not draft the Badger guy who was right there under our own, right there? How do you not see that coming?
Yeah, I think he went high. He went 13, didn't he?
Yeah, but didn't the Packers have a pick where they could have picked him?
Oh, that would be shock. 2000 and no, they couldn't have because he left maybe 2011 draft, 2010 or 2011 draft.
TJ Watt was the 30th pick of the 2017 draft.
About JJ.
No, TJ.
Oh, you're talking about TJ. I thought you're talking about JJ.
No, I'm
Watt.
saying TJ after everyone had seen what JJ had become.
No, that was the Kevin King draft. That's when we traded back out of the first round, I believe, and ended up drafting Kevin King in the second round. Yeah.
So, 2017 draft. I'm just looking at that. David Njoku, who is out today, as we mentioned, was the pick before him. That was a good draft. Tre'Davious White, number 27.
Until he messed up his Achilles, I believe.
Evan Ingram, number 23.
That's another good one.
Marlon Humphrey, number 16, cornerback.
League, yeah.
Hassan Reddick, number 13 in that draft.
Is he playing now?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson, number 12. Marshawn Lattimore, number 11.
Good.
Quarterback who's done okay. Patrick Mahomes, number 10.
Decent.
Christian McCaffrey, number 8.
Huh.
Jamal Adams, safety, number 6.
Yeah.
Leonard Fournette. That's crazy.
Yeah, great draft class.
But I'm saying I would have thought Leonard Fournette was like 5 years older than that.
Really? Because he looks that way?
No, because he's like old.
yeah,
Like
his
I feel like
career
he's
went
been
up and down.
old. Like because he had so much tread on the tires, man.
Yeah, he did.
And number 1 in that draft, guy who could take it back to back, defensive players of the year.
Who would that be?
Myles Garrett.
Oh yeah.
So Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt in that same first round. For the AFC North.
They were concerned about him because he had interest outside of football.
Yeah, he liked dinosaurs.
Yeah, he was a little weird, but he's a monster on the football field.
Yeah.
I mean, Wisconsin. Shout out to the Steelers because you know what? They got a lot of Wisconsin guys on that roster, and they're all balling out.
Dude, their whole defense. Like when you watch. By the way, there's a new Hard Knocks.
Yes, I watched some.
It's
of the
about the AFC North.
Yep.
And so, you get to see all those Badgers on that defense with the Steelers.
Nunu had the interception last week, and that's talking about Keanu Benton. The week before that, Nick Herbig had the great strip sack, and he went into that game. I watched it. He said, Nick going to get him one.
Yeah.
Nick get him one, and Nick got one this week on that tackle.
Dude, Mike Tomlin, if you didn't already, everyone's in love with Mike Tomlin already, but then that show, when you see him up close, like, oh, my God.
Yeah, it's a reminder he's one of the best coaches out there.
I mean, I don't think you need a reminder when you look at this Steelers team with Justin Fields starting the first half of the year and then Russell Wilson the second half of the year sitting at 10-3. And I mentioned it before, and I wanted to talk Packers in this segment, but we'll get to them next segment and maybe after that at 7-11. But the early games today are not going to be the ones that jump out at you, right? There is, the Giants play in one of the games who are 2-10. The Jets play in one of the games who are 3-10. The Panthers play in one of them who are 3-10. The Saints are 5-8. The Titans are 3-10. The Browns are 3-10. And the Dolphins are 6-7. Dolphins-Texans might be the best game of the early slate. So that's,
they got some stars on those teams.
Yeah. But I'm saying that's Dolphins-Texans is probably the best game. Not a great early slate. But listen to this late slate. Colts, Broncos, not great. Cardinals, Patriots, not great. But then at the same time, you have Bills, Lions going on.
That's going to be one.
And Steelers, Eagles going on.
That's another one.
And by the way, you could throw in Buccaneers, Chargers, who are both over 500 also.
Chargers have played very well this year. I'm assuming they're on separate, one's on Fox, one on CBS.
Yeah, CBS has the Bills, Lions. Fox has the Steelers, Eagles.
Oh, I like that.
That is the best 2 games going on all year that we've had. And then that all leads in to Sunday Night Football of the Packers and the Seahawks. So
I think
if you need to get things done, you might, do your holiday shopping early today because afternoon on is a great day of football.
That Bills-Lions game is a potential, Super Bowl preview for these two teams. So I think this is a great matchup because both teams have something to prove.
Why can't the Steelers-Eagles be a Super Bowl preview?
I mean, no, it can be, right?
I did hear Gabe and Matt Jones saying there's no way the Steelers can make the Super Bowl.
Really?
Well, because their point was, if you're the Steelers, you pretty much have to go in back-to-back weeks and beat the Bills and the Chiefs.
But they have a defense. The Chiefs don't score.
But do you really think back-to-back weeks they could do that? And maybe the Ravens, if they lose today?
This is what I look at, right? Is the Steelers have a legitimate defense that can harass the quarterback, right?
Yep, legit.
The Kansas City Chiefs have shown you they do not blow teams out, regardless of
one-score games.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
And the Steelers are good at those also, which not a lot of teams are.
You have a great defense, and you have a quarterback with Russell Wilson who has his confidence back. They have 2 decent running backs there as well with Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. So their football team is a good football team that can compete. So are they going to be the favorite? No, but the Steelers can definitely make a run, all because Russell Wilson is playing really, really good football.
So you're saying, and then you think we saw the Bills give up 1,000 yards and 1,000 points to the Rams last week.
That's why this is a big game for the Bills today against the Lions because the Bills are not.
And that's at Detroit. That's at Detroit. So you think about it, the Bills' defense was embarrassed last week, right, by the Rams.
And then you go watch the Rams only score 12 points. Not even. I don't think they scored a single touchdown.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, but that game had weather in San Francisco. But still. I mean, even if they hadn't gone and scored 12 points, the Rams were unstoppable last week against the Bills. So the Bills have something to prove against the Lions, and that's the last offense and the last building you want to go into when you've just been dominated. So that game's amazing. And then you got this other game, as I said, the Battle of Pennsylvania, where Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown got called out by a teammate during the week.
Yeah,
So now all of a sudden that's like a must-win.
I'm confused about the drama here, Craig. I know we don't talk about a lot of stuff in NFL other than the Green Bay Packers, but A.J. Brown said something earlier at the end of the game last week about Jalen Hurts, or a slick comment or something like that. Is that what happened at the end of last week?
A.J. Brown was basically saying he wasn't getting the ball enough, and then teammate came out and said, well, they need to figure out their personal stuff because kind of acknowledging that maybe there's something deeper than just
they ain't sharing women.
Just what A.J. Brown was saying there. So I think that's what led to the bigger discussions. But in that game, when you think about it, even though the Steelers have been up for all of these huge battles, right, against the Ravens, against the Bengals, they won a big game, right? So, but Pittsburgh is still sitting there at 10-3. So they are right there with the Bills. They are right there, 2 games behind the Chiefs. So they're probably not catching the Chiefs. But still, this is a huge game for the Steelers. I think it means more for the Eagles because I think the Eagles have to put all this drama behind them and get a win. Because if they lose that game this week, Eagles and
I like if they lose because that means they may unravel like they did last year.
Right. I think that's what people will be saying because they're at home. The Eagles are at home. If they lose that game at home,
too, against the Panthers.
Yep. So I think that game means a lot to the Philadelphia Eagles, probably even more than it means to the Steelers if they lose that game. But it'd be a great, great afternoon of NFL football today. So, all right, we blew through the 7-11 last week. Are we hitting the 7-11 this week?
We can hit the 7 at 11 this week. Yes, I have something.
Is it Google proof?
It is Google proof. Yes, it's NFL as well because
it's Google proof.
I didn't know
if anything's Google proof.
It's not Google proof, but it's like legit. And I guess anybody can look it up.
Okay, all right.
I can try to think of something that's Google proof, but
it has to be like, what number am I thinking of between 1 and 1,000?
Yeah, you can say the Kyle Wallace.
Who are Kyle's favorite 7 quarterbacks?
Yeah, in the NFL, the Packers players. Of all
see,
time.
we're gonna have a with the new Sunday Karma, which we'll reset for those who didn't hear. We will reset the new Sunday Karma and discuss if the 7-11 has a future in the AI era as we continue at Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ring in 2025 at American Place Casino. Join us for the Oztacular Countdown featuring $50,000 promotional drawings, merchandise giveaways, live entertainment, and more. They say seeing is believing, and at American Place Casino, you'll believe you found a real game changer. From table games to the hottest slots, plus dining, bars, and more, we've got it all. This New Year's Eve, let the celebration begin. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and I have the perfect gift idea for you. A custom holiday gift box filled with all your Kringle favorites from Racine Danish Kringles. There's no wrapping needed, and this season you can try their newest holiday pastry, Eggnog Kringle. Created to bring festive cheer to your celebrations. Filled with rich, creamy eggnog and topped with sweet icing and a sprinkle of cinnamon, it's perfect for sharing with loved ones. Go to Kringle.com to order or call 800-4-DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, it's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
Gift giving is easy with an Island Resort and Casino gift card. Every person on your list can spend their time just the way they like it. Dining, going to a concert, relaxing at the Drift Spa, playing golf. No matter the reason, gift cards to the Midwest's premier resort destination are a sure bet. To order gift cards, stop by the Island Club today or call 877-ISL-SHOW. Then spread some joy because everyone knows your total experience is at the Island.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Aside from a house or a car specifically, what is the most expensive thing you own? Winnie?
A car.
Name an animal with 3 letters in its name.
Alligator. Name something that's better than being rich.
4. Besides a bird, something in a bird cage.
Hamster.
Something that comes with a summer storm.
Snow.
Something Russia's famous for, Bob.
Russians.
Something a burglar would not want to see when he breaks into a house. Rob!
Naked grandma!
Reason you might stay indoors on a beautiful day.
Because it's raining?
Name something you might buy that could turn out to be phony.
A horse.
Name a time that most people get up.
In the morning.
A time most people go to bed.
At night.
This is the 7 at 11 on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin.
All right, it's the 7 at 11:11. Now, Sunday Karma earlier this morning, breaking news has announced an acquisition of producer Alex Strofe from Kyle Brust and Nortman, as well as national ESPN radio host and retired host of Scalzo and Brust, Greg Scalzo, will be joining Sunday Karma in 2025. So we did not have to give anything up in this deal. Kyle Wallace still stays as producer, rejects the opportunity to become a host. I stay as a host in 2025. The expectation is there will be more Sunday Karmas as we have more depth on the roster. Breaking news from Sunday Karma. Now, the other breaking news. There have been discussions that what was formerly the 9 at 9, when this show was an 8 to 10 show in the morning. That's when this show originally aired, because the LTN hour, Let's Talk NASCAR, which it was called Let's Talk NASCAR. Then the dudes got sued by NASCAR, so they had to change the name to the LTN hour. And they used to be on 10 to noon, and we made way more money on that show than on our show. So we used to be 8 to 10, and the Let's Talk NASCAR.
Where's LTN at now?
I don't know. It's a good question. Those guys are good dudes. At least they were always good to me. I don't know. I think we eventually moved them to 8 to 10 for a minute, and then they, I think, decided to go their separate way. But the 9 at 9 became the 7 at 11. There's people questioning that in this day and age, there's always been Google, but in a Google and AI age, should there be a 7 at 11? Because so much of what the 7 at 11 has become has been questioning who's honest and who's not.
Yeah, it's tough because we don't know who's keeping it real and who's not. And I make this plea out to those who love Sunday Karma. Is it ain't that serious. I love me a good 94.5 ESPN shirt, but cheating ain't the way to go. It's not the way to go.
But if it's so inside your head, I mean, does this have to become where the questions are truly subjective? Where it is like, all right, what are Kyle's 7 favorite Jamie Foxx movies?
There's a lot of them. He got a lot of great movies.
You know what I mean? Like, does it have to become that? Now, because then even if people look them up, they're not going to know
which
what
one
your
it is.
favorite. Now, AI, once AI gets better, maybe it'll know Kyle well and be able to help predict.
Your phone listens to what you say. That's why you get those ads.
Yeah. So, but a lot of controversy and a lot of discussion on the Reddit channel that discusses Sunday Karma of if 7 at 11 will continue into 2025, but this will in fact be our last 7 at 11 of 2024. It could be the last ever. So could I potentially run the table, because it is time for that 7 at 11?
Well, Craig, this is your opportunity, and this one is thinking about the opponents the Green Bay Packers have played this year. There's been a lot of conversation about whether the Packers are good.
Oh, wait, here's a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Who's the last team the Packers lost to not in the NFC North?
It would be the, oh my goodness. I know it, but I don't want to look down at my phone because I have it there. It was the Eagles.
Good job. Think about
1.
that. Packers haven't lost to a non-NFC North team since week 1.
Yeah, it was against the Eagles, and that is my whole point.
The Packers have not lost in this continent to a team not in the NFC
That is true.
North.
They have not lost on this continent. And so that leads me to this, because there's a lot of discussion whether or not people believe in the Green Bay Packers. A lot of people are uneasy based off some polls on KBN that we had this week. Kyle Brust and Nortman, 2-5 on ESPN Wisconsin, about people feeling very uneasy about this game and people not really believing in the Green Bay Packers, Craig. So what I want to know is the 7 teams in the NFL who have scored the most points per game this year. Who are the top 7 teams in the NFL who have scored the most points per game this year? And if there is a tie, I will allow all those answers.
So is there a tie?
There is a 3-way tie.
Oh, so we're trying to get 9? So we got to get 7 of the 9, you're saying?
No, you got to get 7 of the 9. Yep.
Okay. I'll start with the Detroit Lions.
The Detroit Lions, Detroit, yes, they are number 1 on this list, averaging 32.1 points per game. The Green Bay Packers have fallen to the Detroit Lions twice this year. They are number 1 in points per game this season. So you have number 1, Craig.
Okay. It's weird. I'm going to say the Baltimore Ravens next.
The Baltimore Ravens, their defense sucks this year. They're trash. So they had to put up a lot of points, and that is good enough for number 3 on this list, Craig, as they have 29.5 points per game. So you have number 1 in Detroit. Now you have number 2 in Baltimore, Craig.
Oh, you said they were number 3?
3 in Baltimore.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Gosh, I would have said they were number 2. So now, who would I have next? All right. I'm risking something here just because. But
I feel like you're going down the right path.
I'm going to say, this team's bad, though. I'm going to say the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Cincinnati Bengals. I had a feeling you were going to go that direction. The Cincinnati Bengals also has a defense that can't stop anybody, and they are averaging 27.8 points per game, which makes them good enough for number 5 on this list.
Okay. I'm going to then say the Buffalo Bills. Maybe they're number 2 if the Ravens weren't.
Number 6 on this list, sorry. You said the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah, because if the Ravens were 3, there has to be someone who's number 2.
The Buffalo Bills are number 2, averaging 30.5 points per game this season, Craig. So you have number 1 with Detroit. You have number 2 with Buffalo. You have number 3 with Baltimore. You have number 6 with Cincinnati.
All right. So there's 3 more for the win. There's so many teams floating through my mind right now. Obviously, the Chiefs are flowing through my mind because they've won a lot of games, but I don't feel good enough about them. The Steelers are floating through my mind because, since Russ has been there, they're putting up points. But I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles are tied for number 7 on the list with 26 points per game. They are tied for number 7 on this list. Now, Craig, you have number 7, you have number 1, you have number 2, you have number 3, you have number 6. You are missing 2 more who are actually in the top 7. There's 2 more who are tied for number 7. But also, the whole point of this is...
Yes, the whole point of this was you said something about the Packers to lead into this.
Packers.
Yes.
So the Packers played who? Detroit. Lost to them twice. Top 7 in scoring. They played the Eagles once. Top 7 in scoring.
Yep. So I think we know that there's a quarterback who threw 5 touchdowns last week.
Oh, yes.
And... they've been quite the prolific team. They put up a lot of points against the Green Bay Packers. You kind of helped me there. I'm going to say the Minnesota Vikings.
The Minnesota Vikings are also tied for number 7 as well, Craig. And with this one, I'm going to make you have to get number 5 and number 4 as well because I want you to get those 2. But tied for number 7 is the Minnesota Vikings, who are also averaging 26 points per game as well. And so the whole point for those who are hating on the Green Bay Packers is the Green Bay Packers have played some good football teams, some great football teams, and they have not beaten any of those great football teams. But those football teams they have lost to aren't a walk in the park. These are all top teams in the NFL. They still have something to prove. But people, let's calm down and stop acting like the Packers aren't a good team.
Okay, so I mentioned the Chiefs, I mentioned the Steelers, but I'm going to go off the board here.
Okay, let's see here.
And I'm going to go to a team that I feel like they put up like 50 in a game, and they put up some big numbers. They are 8-5. Wildy mentioned them earlier. I'm going to go with the Washington Commanders.
I like where your head is, Craig. Yes, the Washington Commanders are number 4 on this list. They are averaging an astounding 28.9 points per game this season, Craig, which is incredible because we all know their biggest issue was scoring points. They couldn't score. They had a loaded defense these last couple years that could make some stops, but then at the end of the game, they weren't scoring enough points between all these different quarterbacks. They found their franchise guy in Mr. Jaden Daniels, which has allowed for them to start putting up points where the Washington Commanders are now number 4. Now, Craig, you've gotten 7 already. So you can take the victory.
But you're saying it doesn't count. You're saying I need
No, you can take the victory. But this is what I want you to do because I know how prideful you are. I want you to get to the last one.
Yeah, I don't think it should count. I mean, you had said it should count, but I feel like if I get one of the tied, it's 7. But if I don't get number 5,
okay, well then it's on you to get number 5.
So I've gotten number 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 7. I've actually gotten 8, or no, I've gotten 7.
You got an 8. I mean, you got an 8. No,
7. Because we're missing we're missing number 5 and one of the tied for number 7.
Yes.
All right. And I look at, by the way, like the Browns and the Broncos had like a crazy scoring fest the other night.
They did.
They did. There's so many teams. I don't feel like I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I don't feel like, obviously the Packers are a team I'm thinking about too in there. Like, should they be in the mix? All right. At the end of the day, God, at the beginning of the year, though, with Justin Fields, I was going to go with the Steelers as my final guess, but I don't think I can, even though they put up all those numbers last week.
Take a deep breath. Go through, the Rolodex of teams in your head. Who's been putting up points?
On what could be the final 7 at 11 ever in the history of this show. Can I pull it out on the final guess? We will find out when we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here. Don't let the chilly weather end your golf season. X Golf and American Family Field is open all year round. They've got innovative and accurate golf simulators, all overlooking left field at AmFam Field. Enjoy daily lunch specials or have an outing with your friends and take in X Golf's full bar and food menus. X Golf AmFam Field is even offering golf lessons by a PGA Pro. Everyone is welcome at X Golf AmFam. Book your sim today, xgolfamfamfield.com. I'll see you out there.
Experience the excellence of Catholic Memorial High School for yourself. Come see why their students gain a competitive edge at CMH. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule a VIP tour or student shadow day. Meet their inspiring teachers, welcoming students, and feel the energy of the CMH culture. All students achieve more than they ever imagined possible. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule your visit. That's CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where you rise.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and Cola, refreshing Bacardi Lime and Soda, or a smooth spiced and Cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 200 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks, the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. You can now win up to 200 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states and is the best place to get real money sports action. Join now because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's right. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
College hockey returns to Fiserv Forum with the 4th annual Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off, December 28th and 29th.
The Wisconsin Badgers return to defend their title, facing the Ferris State Bulldogs in semifinal action on day 1. The Yukon Huskies and Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks will battle for the other spot in the championship game.
Don't miss the college hockey action coming to Milwaukee and see who wins the championship on day 2. Secure your seats today at Ticketmaster.com.
I knew there had to be a better way to get relief from joint pain aside from surgery and harmful medications.
That's football legend and dancing champ Emmitt Smith, who knows a thing or two about joint pain.
Turns out I was right. It's called QC Kinetics, and now tens of thousands of patients and counting all across the country, they're feeling amazing. They say, hey, Emmitt, you were right.
QC Kinetics zeroed in on a technology that is revolutionizing pain treatment. They are transforming patients' lives. The largest provider of non-surgical regenerative treatments using natural healing properties to help restore and repair aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs. Call them today for your free consultation.
QC Kinetics. I knew there had to be a better way. I love it when I'm right.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
All right, we got history on the line here. Top 7 scoring teams in the NFL, but there's actually 9 total when you include ties. So, Kyle, make sure to not give the one that I'm looking for, but name. I have actually gotten 7 correct of the 9. What we have said is if I go 9 for 9 here, we could end the 7-Eleven forever based on AI and all the things that are going on around people cheating. But we could just adapt it as we go into a new Sunday Karma in 2025. So who has been guessed correctly here?
And do not give the team as I read it off.
Yes, make sure.
I have an issue doing that.
Yes.
You go, I'm ready.
Make sure. And all I need to do, if I get number 5, I win. Because then I'll have gotten 8 of the 7. Because there are 9 with ties. Here we go.
All right, number 1, you got Detroit. Number 2, you got Buffalo. Number 3, you got Baltimore. Number 4, you got Washington. You have not gotten number 5. Number 6, you've gotten Cincinnati. Tied for number 7, you have gotten Philadelphia. Tied for number 7, you have gotten Minnesota. You are missing number 5 on this list. Craig, do you have a guess?
This is like the worst team to pick in anything. They're terrible when I bet on them. They're terrible when I pick them in any of our pools. But I just feel like they've put up points all year. I am going with Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons for the win.
Oh, Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons, Craig. Not only have they killed you when it came to, your whatever you've been doing with them, they also killed you today. Kirk Cousins and them, they're not even in the top 15. They are at 21 points per game, way off there. Can't trust them. I had the music ready to go. I was so excited to celebrate with you.
My backup, and maybe this would have been equally bad. Should I say it or should we open up the phones?
You can just say it.
Open up the phone. Oh, okay. Because that'll still leave one.
Yeah, it will.
The other one I was going to say, even though they had all those injuries, I felt like still the Buccaneers continued to put up points no matter what.
Oh, my gosh. Number 5 on the list is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No.
Those dang Falcons got you again. Didn't even know it.
You can't trust the Falcons.
You cannot trust the Falcons. Can you believe that,
You can never trust Kirk Cousins in prime time. Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you at all. I'm not. The number 5 team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Why?
Who have averaged 27.9 points per game, which is 6 points more than what the Atlanta Filthy Falcons have done. Oh, my goodness, Craig. Oh, my goodness. That's
Baker
gotta hurt.
Mayfield. I knew. I don't know why the Falcons are like my kryptonite. Why would I say them? I just felt like Bijan's had such a big year, but like so has.
Craig is literally on the floor hurting right now. He's hurt. He's hurt. This meant a lot to him. I told him, I'm cheering for you, buddy. I'm cheering for you. Poor thing.
I don't know if the 7-Eleven could end on a bitter defeat like that.
The Falcons, they can't be trusted. That's their MO, Craig.
So that was the top 8 of the 7. And so then there was one other tie that we didn't get, which I had a lot of teams in mind for that. Who would that? Should we open that up or should we just knock that out?
I mean, I think you know which team it is.
Is it Packers?
The Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Yes, the Green Bay Packers are top 10 in scoring this year, and that is my whole point. And Craig, I know you're hurt right now because I'm hurt for you. You had it, but you went with the team that you should never go for. I should have said something. I should have said, Craig, if they are forever losing you something, don't go with them. Go with the other one.
No, but that's that. Sometimes you got to learn the hard way in life. That was a crusher.
I stopped messing with the Falcons last year. You know why? Because you know how we have cover 5, which we got to figure out this cover 5 bet because I wanted to get you fat and happy for Christmas or for Hanukkah. For your celebration, whatever y'all got going on over there. Kwanzaa, get you fat and happy for Kwanzaa, and not having it.
Yeah, I know January 20th is being discussed now.
Oh, is it?
Although George Webb is like, we don't want you there.
That's MLK Day.
No, I guess it's not January 20th. Yeah, because I'll be at the college football playoff. January 10th. Wait,
the college football playoff is what day?
On MLK Day.
Dang, they playing that late into the season?
And it's Inauguration Day.
Oh, that's a lot going on.
I mean, Donald Trump making it happen as a tribute to Martin Luther King.
I guess so. He said, I have a dream, too.
Yep.
I have a dream.
I'm not saying who'll have a bigger crowd at the inauguration versus MLK in D.C. We'll leave the crowd counting for other shows. We don't need to mess with that on this show.
Oh, we do.
We will get into the Packers, Seahawks, the slate of NFL games. Devin Williams got traded. The Bucs are in the finals of the NBA Cup, and we have less than 25 minutes to go for me to recover from
I'm a bad producer, Craig, but I had
defeat.
it ready for you, Craig.
Oh, man, that was a tough defeat.
I was going to have this music.
I mean, but you could see where I'm coming from with the Falcons, right?
I had it. No, I don't see where you come from the Falcons.
Really? You don't think they put up numbers?
They put up numbers. I mean, they had like a couple good games.
Well, and I was thinking about that Cousins hasn't been having touchdowns, but Bijan Robinson's been scoring a lot of touchdowns.
I think Kirk Cousins, he hasn't thrown a touchdown. He's had like 0 touchdowns and 8 interceptions or like that.
I know. But then I was thinking like Baker Mayfield, he was missing his 2 receivers for a long time. He was balling.
He's been scoring. Baker Mayfield is the most underrated number 1 draft pick of all time.
I think I'm playing against him in our fantasy football league playoffs today.
Good luck.
I got Joe Burrow, and I am going against Baker. Yeah, I'm going against Baker Mayfield. I mean, I'm 62% to win right now.
Yeah, those percentages.
And the game hasn't even started.
Those percentages mean nothing. I had like 2% to make the playoffs in one of my other leagues. Where Ben was like, "Hey, I'm playing for you, Brad, so you can get in." Next thing you know, so he told me, "Yeah, Kyle, you don't have a chance."
Yeah.
I check on Tuesday. I'm like, "Oh, I'm in the playoffs. What happened?"
But I have Burrow and Chase, so I think basically if they're popping, then it's good. If Burrow and Chase struggle, then I'm done. Like I'm kind of all in on those guys. All right, we will continue with more Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
There's no better place to shop for the sports fan in your life than Brewtown Trading Co. Milwaukee. Not only do they have the largest selection of sports cards in the Midwest, they have the best prices too. Framed jerseys for the man cave? Check. Sealed hobby and blaster boxes of the hottest releases? Check. One-of-a-kind items you won't find anywhere else? Triple check. Open 7 days a week at 4285 South 76th Street and 24 hours a day at BrewtownTrading.com. Make this holiday extra special for the sports fan in your life today at Brewtown Trading Co.
At Gruber Law Offices, they say one call, that's all. Because one call, that's all doesn't mean the work ends there. One call, that's all means the work ends for you. The stress ends for you. You're able to focus on your situation, whether that's an injury that you have to get over, whether it's, the insurance, like all the stuff that you'd be stressed out of, that's what ends then, because you have someone on your team then who's helped tens of thousands of Wisconsinites. That's why if you're ever injured or a loved one's ever injured, remember and think about it. This community is supported in so many ways by Gruber Law Offices because they're successful, right? You only pay if you win. So the fact that Gruber Law Offices has become what it's become is because they've won a lot. That's the only way it works. That's how they become nationally recognized and still been able to be family owned. So remember, if you or a loved one is ever injured in Wisconsin, it's one call. That's all. With Gruber Law Offices.
The time has come. Yes, the time has come to do what you need to do.
You've put it off as long as you can, but the time has come to choose a Christmas gift for the woman you love.
It needs to be something that will fit perfectly.
Something she will wear constantly.
Something she will love. Something you can buy today and take home today.
Because you ran out of time. Christmas is upon us.
It's time for you to buy a fabulous pair of diamond stud earrings. A fabulous pair.
Kessler's has natural diamonds created in the heart of the earth.
And newborn diamonds created in the heart of a star. And when you buy from Kessler's, you can always trade your Kessler's natural diamond studs in for a larger pair.
We have diamond studs for a few $100s.
And diamond studs for several $1,000s.
2-carat total weight natural diamond studs are just $5,998.
She's going to be extremely happy when she sees what you bought for her.
And that's a good thing.
A very, very good thing. Find the Kessler's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Take the stress out of the holiday season with the Milwaukee Bucks. Get all your shopping done with Bucks deal season offers, featuring great gifts and limited time packages that even Scrooge will love. Score deals for everyone on your list, including yourself, from the Milwaukee Bucks and Pfizer Forum. 'Tis the season for cheer with your favorite deer. After all, there's no place like Pfizer Forum for the holidays. Shop the offers today at bucks.com/deal season.
Save big money on all your automotive needs right now at Menards. Get maximum protection for your vehicle with Menards 50/50 pre-diluted antifreeze and coolant. It guards against rust and corrosion and features an extended life coolant technology that's compatible for use in all automobiles, light-duty trucks, and motorcycles. Get everything you need for your automotive needs at Menards and view our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all our great deals.
More season's greetings to you all from Menards.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at Bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T. Do you know what that mean, man? I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T. Do you know what that mean? She got her own house. She got her own car. 2 jobs, work hard. You a bad broad. If you ain't on, sit down. 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 I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T. Do you know what that mean? Baby fat, just relax, front your own.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, I'm still not recovered from that. The Falcons, they are my kryptonite. Tell me Bijan Robinson's going to cost me my fantasy league today after that.
I mean, I'm telling you, Craig, last year I used to pick the Falcons. Even this year, I think I messed around and picked the Falcons. They got blown out. So I stopped messing with them. Are they going to move on from Kirk Cousins at some point? Because he hasn't played well, and I heard a report that the locker room wants to move to Michael Penix Jr.
But they haven't even considered, Adam Schefter reported, they haven't even considered Michael Penix Jr.
They shouldn't. The season's over. They shouldn't. They should think about him for next year, but Kirk Cousins.
Well, but if the season's over, that's why you would play Penix. Get him some experience going into next year.
Because, Kirk Cousins can't go nowhere.
I know, but if you're saying the season's over, why wouldn't you play Penix?
I guess maybe at the last game of the year, last 2. I don't know. I'm
saying, what's the risk? You're saying like he'll get hurt?
There's
or
no
what?
rush. There's no rush.
But if the season's over, and by the way,
Jordan Love didn't play.
But the Packers games were all mattering, and you couldn't. But by the way, Falcons are only one game out of first behind the Buccaneers.
They're not.
You can't say the season's over.
Okay, fine. You're right. Statistically, they just have not been a consistent enough football team where I feel like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, though they have some L's, they seem like just the overall better football team.
So the 49ers lost. They're now 0.1% to make the playoffs.
They're done.
Can you believe that coming into the year?
Devondre Campbell ended them.
But who would you have said coming into the year, like, locks to make the playoffs?
49ers were a lock to make
right? Because their division was garbage,
you're
right?
Thinking about repeat of the Lions.
You would have said they were a lock. You would have said the Lions were a lock. You would have said the Packers. I would not have said the Packers were a lock.
Make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's right, because you liked them.
No. Not because of liking. I'm saying last year the Packers got the last spot.
No, but the Packers were...
there was no guarantee.
When
the Packers have backed it up, but there was no guarantee. When the Packers are in as good a division as they're in, there is no guarantee that they were going to make the playoffs
When
this year.
has there ever been a season where the Green Bay Packers seemed to be ascending and they didn't back it up the next year? They went 6-10 Aaron Rodgers' first year as a starting quarterback. The following year, I think they went 10-6 or something like that. They always do, Craig.
But you're saying, but whatever happened 15 years ago, I don't know how that's relevant to this team this year.
They got the same team back. They're the youngest team in the NFL, and they improved by getting Xavier McKinney. They got rid of the defensive coordinator.
Again.
All the writing was on the wall for this team to be better.
Who knew? You just can't assume that. That's why I think you have to, in some way, appreciate this. And especially when Jordan Love got hurt. Come on now. There's ways this season could have gone that look very differently.
When they won without Jordan Love, that should have been
it
that
was
should have been the final nail in the coffin, saying, "Oh, this is a really Matt LaFleur's a really good coach.
I think it was
good.
I think it was. But coming into this year, I'm saying to me, the 49ers were way more of a lock to make the playoffs than the Packers.
Oh, 100%. And even when you look at Vegas, I think 9.5 was the over-under for the Packers.
I'm saying I think the Eagles and the Packers were kind of similar, right? Because the Eagles were coming off a bad year.
Finish, yep.
But I think the Lions and the 49ers were the two teams that you would have said were 100%. The locks.
100%. I thought that could have been those were the two top dogs coming.
I mean, that's what it was last year, and that's a lot of times how you think about it coming in. And the Lions have backed it up, and the 49ers are now out. But you have teams like the Rams, who are on a roll now. You have teams like the Buccaneers who were playing without both of their receivers. I guess both of those teams, right? When the Packers played the Rams, both Nakua and Kupp were out.
Yep.
The Buccaneers have played without their top two receivers for a lot of the year. The Eagles had Devontae Smith out for a while.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown was out for a little bit. But Saquon has just been unbelievable. So the NFC is really, really interesting. And today you have those two interconference games that will be those big measuring sticks. First for the Lions against the Bills, which is the most likely Super Bowl right now. If you look at the analytics, Bills more likely to be in the Super Bowl than the Chiefs. And then you have that Battle of Pennsylvania between the Eagles and the Steelers. But Sunday Night Football will be the Packers and the Seahawks, who I don't think people realize that the Seahawks are a game clear of everyone coming in this week. Now, Rams got the win over the 49ers, put a little pressure on them. So this is a monster game for the Seahawks. This game means more to the Seahawks than it does the Packers, right? I think we kind of look at it that way?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
So it's at home, and it means more. Packers are still favored coming to this game. Do you know the last time Jacobs played against Seattle? Do you know what happened?
I sure do. He almost went for 300 yards. They went into overtime.
He did go for 300 yards.
Oh, I thought he almost went for 300.
If you combine his receiving yards.
Oh, well, there it is. He went for over 300 total yards.
So Josh Jacobs dominated the Seahawks the last time they played. So I think that's going to be on both of their minds, right? He's thinking that. The Packers have watched all the film on that. So I would expect...
Their run defense is a little shaky now, too.
Who?
The Seahawks,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but with everyone thinking that, we've heard people say, Ron Jaworski always says it, the easiest time to throw in the NFL is on first down, and the easiest time to throw in the NFL is on first down in the first quarter. So, knowing that, do the Packers come out like they have so often this year, establish a run with Jacobs? Or do they come out throwing the ball because Seattle's thinking about giving up 300 yards to him the last time they played him when he was on Vegas still.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question. I think based off the fact that this team struggles to stop the run, their defensive backfield is decent, held up this year. I think you got to run the football. You got to get the ball to Josh Jacobs to control the clock as well. And with your defense being a little bit injured on the back end, you don't want Geno Smith can throw interceptions, but also they can cook on offense. They have a lot of threats. You want to win that time of possession battle. You want to make sure that you're able to.
You also a night game there in Seattle.
Yeah.
You don't want to get their pass rush going. We've seen that a few times, right?
And their pass rush is much better than the Green Bay Packers pass rush as well. And so overall, you got to do things to equalize what they do well. Like you said, pass rush. You got to run the football, and you got to keep the ball in Jordan Love's hand in his offense, because I don't feel good about the Packers. If anything happens where they get down early, I don't feel good about it.
Oh, really?
No, this game.
But remember, Kenneth Walker's out for Seattle.
Yeah, Charbonnet had a good week last week.
Charbonnet had a great week last week. But I'm saying Seattle doesn't have like a great milk the clock kind of offense. And Geno Smith will throw picks.
He sure will.
And Jordan Love is explosive. I'm not saying
Craig,
the Packers, to me, if they get down 10-0 early, I'm not sweating that.
There's
if you're
no
the Packers.
I mean, how often do NFL teams make it through the season? Like, we look at the Lions who are 11-1, right? And their one loss, I think, was to the Buccaneers.
Yes.
And so,
in a game that they were in the red zone 6 times.
And so when I look at it, every team has that whoopsie game. Every team has that letdown game. And
this isn't a letdown, though.
The Seahawks are a good football team.
No, but this wouldn't be a letdown. This is a first place team.
Yeah, but the Packers are favored on the road against a first place divisional team.
But it's Sunday Night Football. This would not be a letdown. To me, this would be okay, I guess Packers aren't as good as we thought they were.
And that's the whole point for me, is that the Green Bay Packers have nothing to gain from this game. Because regardless of what happens in this game, either they're going to say Seattle wasn't that good, or they're going to say if the Packers lose, they're going to say, oh, well, now the Packers are losing to an okay team in Seattle. So
if the Packers win 42-21, I think we'll be like, damn, the Packers offense is legit. They just went into Seattle and ran the ball and threw the ball. But if it is like 24, 21, 28, 24. If the Packers win that kind of game, it certainly helps avoid the Commanders passing them, which Wilde explained is really key, because you don't want to have to play the 2 seed and then the 1 seed the first 2 weeks of the playoffs.
Yep.
So it actually helps them. But in terms of the perception, I think you're right. Unless the Packers have a dominating performance, I don't think people are going to give the Packers a lot of credit if they win, but they will if they lose. They'll heap a lot of questions on them.
And the Packers, and my thing about the 42, even if the Packers put up 42 points, they're going to say, "What have you done against a really good football team?" That will still be the question going into the playoffs.
But you look at the Packers; they have 4. But what I would say back to that is the Packers have only lost 4 games this year, and it's by a combined 20 points. And it's to the Lions, the Eagles, and the Vikings.
2 losses and 2 losses, right? You have 5 combined losses.
Right, I'm saying, so those are the only teams they've lost to all year, right?
People still don't believe in the Green Bay Packers.
And I'm not saying I do either. And so, but I'm just saying, if they beat the Seattle Seahawks, I think you have to start putting these things on the resume. Not saying that they're better than the Lions, but to me, the best thing on the resume was how they played at Detroit last week. And I know it was a short week and all that, but
Detroit, they were missing a lot of their D-line.
They were.
Their defense was, and they were able to harass the Packers. I'm telling you,
how good Jordan Love looked in the second half. And I know he only threw 20 passes. I know he only had 12 completions. The way Jordan Love looked at the second half last week made me think just the way he had the feel for the offense and the throws he was making and his comfortability in the pocket. That made me feel the Packers could beat anyone in this postseason.
Yeah.
I know that's not like based on a fact. It's just based on a feel.
Craig.
That's how good Jordan felt to me in the second half of that game at Detroit in a tough spot.
I'm here to tell you based off facts. When you have an offense that's explosive as the Green Bay Packers offense, you can play with anybody, and they've been able to show that. So the offense is going to be there, and that's what gives me confidence. It comes down to the defense, and I said this. The Packers defense ain't going to stop a lot of teams, but turnovers. Turnovers are key. If the Green Bay Packers, as they did in the playoffs against the Cowboys last year, if they can force some turnovers, that's where they can win.
But they got to convert them to touchdowns, because that's what they didn't do against the Eagles week 1. They didn't convert those early turnovers to touchdowns, and that's why they lost to the Eagles in week 1.
It is.
So I think it is causing them, but it's also about converting them. All right, we'll have our Palermo's picks when we continue. It is the last Sunday Karma of 2024 on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions. Get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from ESPN Milwaukee's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You know how much I love and trust X-Golf with my golf game. Whether we're talking about Brookfield or Mequon, the state-of-the-art simulators, the custom golf clubs they can build, the lessons you can get from their PGA pros. Secretly, one of my favorite things is after my round. In fact, most Fridays, you can find me in Brookfield at the bar enjoying a nice cold drink, maybe having some of the food that they have from their incredible menu. This can happen for you too. Go to xgolfbrookfield.com or xgolfmequon.com to book your tee time today.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 200 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks, the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. You can now win up to 200 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states and is the best place to get real money sports action. Join now because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's right. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Everyone's invited to the most action-packed, triple-double drama-filled holiday party of the season, the NBA on Christmas Day. Come see the Spurs take on the Knicks. Meet the Mavs and the T-Wolves under the mistletoe.
What a gift!
Watch the Sixers and the Celtics light up the court.
Stuffed like a stocking!
Feast on a battle between the Warriors and the Lakers. And cap off the celebrations with the Suns and the Nuggets. Games begin at noon Eastern on ESPN, ABC, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus.
Kevin Moret for Mentality Men's Health. I know that a guy's confidence comes from many sources. For our clients, the way they look is a big driver. When you have the muscle mass and the muscle tone, it changes the way you carry yourself. Did you know that 70% of Mentality clients have increased muscle mass and muscle tone through testosterone and peptide therapy? Their confidence is back and everyone can see it. If you want to recapture the way you look and felt years ago, join the over 25,000 clients and start today. Go to mentalityhealth.com/radio.
It's that time.
Yes, it's finally here.
Craig makes his picks of the week.
You can bet the house on it.
Picks of the week on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin. Presented by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
So, Kyle, I rip on you when you struggle. I got to give you some love. Last week, look at you.
Yeah.
First place in Cover 5 at all of Good Karma Brands.
Yeah, by myself.
43.5 points. You had the Jaguars. You had the Seahawks. You had the Niners, who we don't even remember, like, by now. but the Niners actually dominated
Bears
last week. I had the Bears, right? That killed me. I had a pretty good week besides that game. If I had flipped
I wanted to pick the Rams, but you told me not to, too.
Rams been on fire. And Rams would have picked up 7 points for you last week. You had the Chiefs, who lost, but only 1.5 points, and then you had the Bengals, who covered. A plus 43.5 for you picking.
Yeah, about time.
By the way, I do want to just thank everyone. This is our last show of the year, and we appreciate everyone who gets up with us on Sunday morning and supports us, watches us on YouTube, listens to us on ESPN Madison, 100.5 FM, our original station at Good Karma, the first ever sports station. Of course, WBEV in Beaver Dam, our first ever radio station back December 2nd, 1997. But since August of 98, we've been doing sports in Madison, and we appreciate everybody who supports us. And similarly, since 2004, we've been in Milwaukee. From the One Call That's All Gruber Law Offices studios. So I just want to sincerely thank everybody who spends time with us. We know how many options there are, whether it's podcast, whether it's live radio, whether it's video. However you're consuming us, we appreciate it and appreciate all the support of our partners who advertise with the show, of all of our teammates here at Good Karma, and especially you who watch and listen to us across all the different platforms. So
we got a lot of people watching, Craig.
Yeah, and we're excited about next year, right? We're adding Greg Scalzo and Alex Strofe to the show. These Sunday mornings have been fun. You know, Kyle and I don't do this because we get paid to do it. We do it because we love it, and we appreciate all of you who wake up with us and hang out with us, whether it's to or from church, to or from errands, on the AirPods while you're mowing the lawn, while you're getting ready for your NFL football weekend. We appreciate it all. So I just want to thank you all for being a part of this thing that we mess around with every Sunday morning. So, Kyle, as we look at the games this week, we don't have that much time to run through them, but we do have time to also thank, as I mentioned, our partners. Palermo's picks are brought to us by our great friends at Palermo's Pizza, who they'll be back for 2025, bigger and better than ever. You know what I'm hitting tonight? I already have them in my mind.
What is that?
The Screamin' Sicilian breadsticks. I picked those up this week. I know you love the toppings and I love the toppings, but Harper loves her some breadsticks. So I decided to get the Screamin' Sicilian breadsticks. The creativity that comes from our friends at Palermo's, whether it's just the toppings bowls that they have, whether it's all of the different combinations, you can support Wisconsin's hometown pizza like we do. So when you go to your grocer's freezer, look for Palermo's Pizza, which isn't just Palermo's brand. As we said, it's Screamin' Sicilian, it's Urban Pie, it's Connie's, it's so many different brands. How about Surfer Boy from Netflix? There'll be another season coming up of Stranger Things at some point. Want to thank Palermo's for their loyal support of this show. Who you feeling today?
You talking about just the Packers? You want me to go through my
Yeah, we don't have time for cover five.
I'm feeling like the Packers are going to have a letdown, but I can't go against my Green Bay Packers. Maybe they shock me and they shock a lot of Packers fans and make us get out this rut of a feeling. And I got the Packers 27-20 as they go to Seattle and win for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I think the Packers win also. You know, I've picked against the Packers a lot more than you have because you never do. But I do think Jordan Love in a big spot I trust. And the Packers finally have a field goal kicker, right? That in a big spot you trust.
Yeah,
I know he's not perfect anymore, right? But you still trust him in a big spot. Geno Smith is really good. He'll compile numbers. He'll also give you a few opportunities. He's going to give you a few opportunities, and this defense has been opportunistic. I think on the road, they still force 2 turnovers, and I think they end up winning this game by a field goal. I think the Packers get it done. Stay healthy, stay together, survive today, thrive tomorrow. Don't settle. We appreciate y'all. We're excited to be back with you in 2025. And by the way, you can hear that Eagles-Steelers game, I know, as the late game today. We were talking about how good that game is. That game is right here today. It would have been, but we have Green Bay Game Day coming up. So that game would have been on ESPN Wisconsin, but instead you got Green Bay Game Day leading into your Seahawks game. Kyle, for the last time for this show, send us out.
Peace.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Rick, describe some of our wow Christmas gifts while Sarah and I name the prices and add a little commentary.
Okay. A 1.5